Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. In this video, I would like to revise the problems on inverse Z transforms by using partial fractions. Already in earlier videos, I discussed some problems. In this session, I will explain some more problems. Okay. See here, what is the problem? Find Z inverse of Z by Z square plus 11Z plus 24. So, in the concept of inverse Z transforms, we don't take the partial fractions directly for the given function. Okay. So, first of all, let us represent the given function with the f of z. Otherwise, you can also take as u of z, which is z by z square plus 11z plus 24. Okay. In the concept of inverse z transforms by partial fractions, we should hide one z which is in the numerator in the left hand side denominator. So, it means that we have to divide the z on both sides. So, you will get f of z by z. So, what is the numerator? It is only 1 by, since clearly denominator is a quadratic term. So, try for linear factors. 3 8s are 24. 3 8s are 24, which is the constant term. If you add these both numbers 3 plus 8, you will get 11z. That is why I am writing the denominator as z plus 3 into z plus 8. Okay. So, you can take it is equation number 1. It is enough to find out partial fractions of this right hand side part. So, 1 by z plus 3 into z plus 8 is equal to a by, since denominator has different linear factors, numerator of z plus 3 should be a constant. That is why I am taking a by z plus 3 plus b by z plus 8. Take the LCM. It would be z plus 3 into z plus 8. So, what is the numerator? A should be multiplied with the different factor z plus 8. So, you will get a into z plus 8 plus b into z plus 3. b into z plus 3. In this way, we can separate the right hand side fraction into partial fractions. Now, since denominators are same, we should equate the numerators. What is it? 1 is equal to a times of z plus 8 plus b times of z plus 3. We need the a value. For a value, look at the denominator of a, it would be z plus 3. This is a linear factor whose root is minus 3. That is why replace z is equal to minus 3. Automatically you will get the value of a. So, left hand side is only 1. So, a times of, whenever we have z, replace it by minus 3. Minus 3 plus 8 is 5. That is why a value is 1 by 5. Okay, a value is 1 by 5. Now, it is enough to find out the value of b. Since denominator of b is z plus 8, whose root is minus 8, I am replacing z is equal to minus 8 in this equation. So, you will get in the left hand side we have only 1. That is why I am writing this left hand side as usually. Minus 8 plus 8 becomes 0. Whenever you are replacing root of the denominator of b, automatically a will be eliminated. You will get directly b value. So, 0 plus minus 8 plus 3, it would be minus 5b. So, b value is minus 1 by 5. B value is minus 1 by 5. So, we have to replace a value and b value in this equation number 2. Okay. From 1 and 2 directly I will write f of z by z is equal to this one. This one is nothing but a value is 1 by z plus 3, b value is minus 1 by 5, z plus 8. See here, I will write this side, see. So, from 1 and 2, you will get f of z by z is equal to this one. This is nothing but this one. What is a value? 1 by 5. 1 by 5 by z plus 3. B value is minus 1 by 5. That is why directly I am writing plus into minus, minus 1 by 5 by z plus 8. So, take this denominator to right side numerator. If you shift this denominator to right side, automatically it becomes product of numerators. So, f of z is equal to 1 by 5 is the constant term. That is why I am writing this side. z into 1 z by z plus 3 minus 1 by 5 into z by z plus 8. Apply inverse on both sides. So you will get z inverse of f of z is equal to 1 by 5 into z inverse of, directly I am separating the terms by using linear property. So 1 by 5 is the constant term, that is why right outside. So z inverse of z by z plus 8. Clearly we are observing that both parts are in the form of z inverse of z by z plus a. The formula for this one is already I discussed in earlier videos. So according to this formula, here a is 3 and here a is 8. So 1 by 5 into minus 3 power n minus 1 by 5 into minus 8 whole power n. In this way we can find out the inverse Z transforms of given function. F of Z is nothing but given function. See, I will give some more examples here. Please listen carefully. See the next example. Find Z inverse of Z by Z plus 1 into Z plus 2. So let us represent the given function with f of z. F of z is nothing but a function in terms of z. So z by z plus 1 into z plus 2. Here also we have to use the partial fractions method. Okay, but don't take directly given function into partial fractions. Okay, so let us hide this numerator z in the denominator of the left side. Don't forget it. So by dividing with z on both sides, you will get f of z by z here. Here z and denominator z gets cancelled. Directly we will get z plus 2. Okay. So what are the partial fractions? Forget about this part. Just look at this one. Just focus on this part. You have to reduce this term to, you have to separate this term to partial fractions. So denominator has only linear factors. That's why partial fractions are a by z plus 1 plus b by second factor z plus 2. Okay. So already in the previous problem we are taking the LCM and we are equating the numerators. We are using the basic method, but here I will give another method which is a shortcut method. So directly you will get the a value and b value. So to get the numerator of z plus 1, replace z is equal to minus 1. I am replacing z is equal to minus 1 except in this part. Except z plus 1, we have to replace z is equal to minus 1 in the entire part. So numerator is 1 by minus 1 plus 2, it would be plus 1. That's why a value is 1 by 1, nothing but a value is 1. Now for the numerator of z plus 2, you should replace z is equal to minus 2. Okay, we have to replace z is equal to minus 2 in this part except this z plus 2 factor. Replace whenever we have z by minus 1 by 2, sorry, by minus 2 in the remaining term. Already numerator is 1 by minus 2 plus 1, it would be minus 1. So b value is minus 1, a value is 1. This is direct method. You can also use this method. Otherwise, if you feel this direct method is difficult, then you can take the LCM and equate the numerator. So you can use the basic method, no problem. So from this f of z by z, the next step becomes f of z by left hand side is f of z by z, right hand side is only 1 by z plus 1. A value is 1 by z plus 1, b value is minus 1 by z plus 2. So take this denominator z to right side. F of z is equal to z by z plus 1 minus z by z plus 2. So apply inverse on both sides. By applying z inverse of f of z, directly separate the terms, you will get z inverse of z by z plus 1 minus z inverse of z by z plus 2. One second. So this is equal to, it is in the form of z inverse of z by z plus a. A is nothing but 1. It would be minus a whole power n. That's why you will get minus 1 whole power n minus, here also it is in the form of z inverse of, what is the related formula? Z inverse of z by z plus a. It would be minus a whole power n. That's why a is 2. Minus 2 whole power n. This is the final answer. Don't forget one important point. If you find out the inverse Z transforms of a function of Z, the result should be in terms of n. Don't forget that result. Okay, I will give some more examples now, please see. Please note down these problems, you can try yourself. Find z inverse of z by z minus 3 into z minus 5. Simply you have to take this one as a function of z and you have to hide one z which is in the numerator of this function. Okay, just divide the given function with z on both sides. So you will get 1 by z minus 3 into z minus 5. You can separate the given this function into partial fractions. You will easily get the values of a and b. Okay, similarly this is also denominator has only linear factors and this is also has linear factors. Okay, you have to remember that only one point. Okay, don't take the partial fractions of entire given function in the case of inverse Z transforms. Okay, but if it is in the concept of inverse Laplace transform, it may be in terms of S. In that case, you have to take the partial fractions directly. But in the case of inverse Z transforms, don't take partial fractions directly. Okay, you have to divide with Z on both sides of the given function. After that, you have to separate the partial fractions. After that, you can take the denominator Z to right side numerator. That is the procedure. Okay, I will give some more examples now. See. See the next example. Find z inverse of 2z by z minus 1 into z square plus 1. Please try to understand the difference between the previous examples and this example. In previous problems, denominator has only different linear factors. But in this problem, denominator has one linear factor. Z minus 1 is the first degree factor, which is also known as linear factor. What is this? This is quadratic factor, which do not contain linear factors. That's why this is called irreducible quadratic factor. Okay, see here also as usually we have to take given function as f of z. Let f of z is equal to 2z by z minus 1 into z square plus 1. So divide with z on both sides. So you will get f of z by z is equal to 2 by z minus 1 into z square plus 1. Okay. So if you do not divide with z on both sides, at the climax step we can't apply the any formula on inverse Z transforms. That's why here we are hiding one z which is in the numerator of given function in the left hand side denominator. For that purpose only I am dividing with z on both sides. Here dividing z and this numerator z gets cancelled, remaining term only 2. So what are the partial fractions of this type of denominators? For the linear factor you should write a by z minus 1. For irreducible quadratic factor, numerator should be bz plus c by z square plus 1. Okay, take it equation number 1. Now we have to take the LCM. After that we have to equate the numerators on both sides. What is the LCM of this term? Product of both denominators, this one into this one. So z minus 1 into z square plus 1. So a times of z square plus 1, a times of z square plus 1 plus bz plus c into this term, it would be z minus 1. Okay, so equate the numerators. Here right side numerator is this one, left side numerator is only 2. Forget about this part. Okay, this one is equal to this one. So by equating the numerators you will get 2 is equal to a times of z square plus 1 plus bz plus c into z minus 1. Okay, so it is enough to find out the values of ABC first. For a value, look at the denominator of constant a. Denominator of a is z minus 1, whose root is 1. That's why put z is equal to 1. You can easily get the value of a. So left side is only 2, right side is 1 square plus 1. It would be 2a. This term becomes 0. 1 minus 1 0. 0 into anything 0. That's why whenever you are replacing root of the denominator of capital A, automatically b value and c value will be eliminated. Directly you will get the a value. So 2 gets cancelled. You will get a is equal to 1. Highlight with a box. Now For b value and c value, their denominator is z square plus 1. It does not contain positive real roots. That's why we have to compare the like terms on both sides. We have to compare the coefficients of like terms on both sides in this equation number 2 on both sides. So here highest degree term is z square. That's why first of all I have to compare coefficient of z square on both sides. In the left hand side we do not have any z square term. That's why z square coefficient should be 0. In the right side, if you take this a to inside, you will get first term is a z square, whose coefficient is only a in the first part. What about the second part? If you separate the terms, nothing but if you multiply these terms with z minus 1, first term is bz into z, bz square, whose coefficient is b. Except these two terms, we do not get any z square term in this expansions of the terms. So what is b value? If you take this term to this side, you will get minus a. Already we got a value. So b value is minus 1. Okay. Now by comparing the coefficient of z on both sides in equation number 2, in the left hand side there is no term of z. That's why coefficient of small z in the left side is 0. Here we do not contain any z term, so skip it. Now if you multiply this bz with minus 1, you will get minus bz term, whose coefficient is minus b. If you multiply this term c to this term, cz is there, so whose coefficient of z is only c. So what is c value? If you take this term to this side, you will get c is equal to b. Already we got b value is minus 1. So c is equal to b is equal to minus 1. In this way we can get the values. So substitute these values, substitute a, b, c values in 1. So what happened? F of z by z is equal to, f of z by z is equal to a. What is a value? 1. 1 by z minus 1 plus b value is minus 1. That's why you will get minus 1 into z minus z. C value is also minus 1. So you will get minus 1 by z square plus 1. So next step is take this denominator to right side numerator. You have to multiply this one with z and this numerator also with z. After that you have to take inverse z transforms on both sides. See. So from this f of z, left side is f of z. F of z is nothing but given problem. Okay, if you take this z to this side, you will get z into 1, z by z minus 1. Don't forget to multiply this z with this term also. Minus z into, I will take minus as a common term, and it is better to separate the terms also directly. You will get plus into minus minus z into z, z by z square plus 1 minus plus into minus is there, minus 1 into z by z square plus 1. So take inverse on both sides. Z inverse of f of z is equal to z inverse of z by z minus 1 is the first term minus z inverse of z square by z square plus 1 minus z inverse of last term is z by z square plus 1. So what is z inverse of z by z minus 1? It would be 1 power n. 1 power 1 power anything is only 1. Okay, minus what is z inverse of z square by z square plus 1? Already I explained you what is the z inverse of z square by z square plus 1 in the second video of this chapter, sorry, second or third. It is cos n pi by 2. It is a direct formula. Minus this is sin n pi by 2. If numerator has z square, then it is cos n pi by 2. If numerator is only z, then it is sin n pi by 2. Okay, denominator should be in the form of z square plus 1. So 1 minus cos n pi by 2 minus sin n pi by 2. In this way we can obtain the inverse z transforms of the given function. I will give one more example, please see. See the next example. Find z inverse of 4z square minus 2z by z cube minus 5z square plus 8z minus 4. Clearly here we are observing that denominator is a cubic polynomial. So first of all, we have to find out the factors of this cubic polynomial. So what is the denominator? Z cube minus 5z square plus 8z minus 4. Here we are observing that sum of coefficients of this polynomial is 0. See, the coefficient of z cube is 1. Okay, 1 plus 8. I am adding the positive terms. 1 plus 8 is 9, and here minus 5 minus 4 is minus 5 minus 4 is minus 9. 9 minus 9 is 0. So if sum of coefficients of a polynomial is 0, then automatically z is equal to 1 is a root and z minus 1 is a factor. I will find out the remaining factors by using synthetic division method. Okay, so just write the coefficients, it's enough. Coefficients are 1, minus 5, 8, minus 4. So blindly put 0 here, add this both terms 1 plus 0 1 and multiply 1 into 1 here and write here minus 5 plus 1 minus 4, 1 into minus 4 minus 4, 8 minus 4 is plus 4, 1 into 4 4. So minus 4 plus 4 would be 0. Okay. So what is this? This can be written as z square minus 4z plus 4. So it is in the form of z minus 2 whole square. Already z is equal to 1 is a root, and that's why corresponding factor is z minus 1. Remaining two factors are z minus 2 whole square. That's why denominator can be written as in this way. So let us write given function as f of z, 4z square minus 2z by z cube minus 5z square plus 8z minus 4. That implies f of z divide with 1z on both sides. Here also 1z is common term in the numerator. That's why that z will be cancelled. So f of z by z is equal to 4z minus 2 by. So what are the factors for the denominator? Z minus 1 into z minus 2 whole square. We are observing that denominator has a one different linear factor and two repeated linear factors. Here z minus 2 is a factor which is repeated twice. That's why how can we take the partial fractions? A by z minus 1 plus b by z minus 2 plus c by z minus 2 whole square. In this way we have to separate the given function into partial fractions. So it is enough to find out the values of ABC first. After getting the values of ABC, we have to take this denominator z to right side, and after that we have to take the inverse z transforms on both sides. See. So first of all take the LCM. So left side is f of z by z minus 1, only f of z by z is equal to, what is the LCM? LCM is nothing but product of all terms. Z minus 1 is a different factor. For z minus 2 and z minus 2 whole square, common LCM is z minus 2 whole square. So you should multiply a with a different factor which is z minus 2 whole square, a into z minus 2 whole square plus b into, here we have only one z minus 2. That's why you should multiply b with one z minus 1 and another z minus 2. Plus c into different factor is z minus 1 only, c into z minus 1. So equate the numerator. So what is the numerator? Don't take f of z. Here numerator is this one. So by equating the numerators you will get 4z minus 2 is equal to, what is the numerator here? A into z minus 2 whole square plus b times of z minus 1 into z minus 2 plus c into z minus 1. So for a value we can use the substitution method. For a value observe the denominator. It has only z minus 1 whose root is equal to 1. So z is equal to 1. Whenever we have z, blindly replace it by 1. 4 into 1 4. 4 minus 2 is 2 in the left hand side. Right hand side is automatically b and c will be eliminated because it contains z minus 1 term. If you replace z is equal to 1, this term becomes 0, this term becomes 0. It is not necessary to check what are the values of b and c. Okay, it is directly you will get a value, no doubt at all. 1 minus 2 minus 1 whole square, it is 1. 1 into a. So a value is 2. Now For B and C value, their denominators are z minus 2, whose root is 2. That's why first put z is equal to 4 2s are 8, 8 minus 2, 6, 8 minus 2 is 6. Okay. Here this term becomes 0, B becomes also 0 because it has z minus 2 term. If you replace z is equal to, you will get 2 minus 2, 0, 0 and anything 0. Directly you will get C value. So I got C value is 6. Now for B value, compare the coefficient of z square on both sides. Otherwise you can equate the constant terms on both sides. Otherwise put z is equal to 0 because already we got two values A and C. For another value you can replace z is equal to 0 also as you wish. So by comparing z square coefficients on both sides, left hand side there is no z square term, that's why its coefficient is 0. Here you will get A by expanding z minus 2 whole square by using A minus B whole square. First term z square whose coefficient is in the outside, which is A. Here by multiplying this both terms, first term would be z into z square, whose coefficient is B. Except these two terms, we do not get any z square term in this entire calculation. That's why B value is minus A. What is A value? Minus 2. So B is equal to minus 2. In this way, we have to find out the ABC values carefully without any mistakes. Okay. Now replace ABC values in this equation. You can take this is equation number 1. Okay. 1 second. So substitute ABC values in equation number 1. From equation number 1 implies f of z by z is equal to A by z minus 1. Look at equation number 1. A is 2. So 2 by z minus 1 plus plus B. B is nothing but minus 2. Minus 2 by z minus 2 plus C value is 6. C by z minus 2 whole square. Okay. Take this denominator z to right side. You will get f of z is equal to 2z by z minus 1 minus 2z by z minus 2 whole square, only z minus 2 plus 6 into z by z minus 2 whole square. Apply inverse on both sides. So z inverse of f of z is equal to 2 is the constant term right outside from the inverse operator. So z by z minus 1, again my 2 is the constant term, 2 into z inverse of z by z minus 2 plus 6 is the constant term. So right outside of the inverse operator. So z inverse of z by z minus 2 whole square. So it is enough to apply the formula and we have to express this inverse transforms in terms of n. See. So just write below of this step 2 into, what is the formula for z inverse of z by z minus 1? It is in the form of z inverse of z by z minus a. It is a power n. A is nothing but 1. 1 power n. 1 power n is nothing but 1. No problem. Minus 2 into. Here also it is in the form of z inverse of z by z minus 2 is here. It is in the form of z inverse of z by z minus a is nothing but 2. So 2 power n. Plus, what about this? Here we have z by z minus 2, it is not 1. If it is 2, then we have to compare with z inverse of az by z minus a whole square. This formula is a power n into n. Since here we have a, numerator also has a. Since it is 2, we should write here 2 only. If you multiply with 2, we have to divide with 2. So this 2 gets cancelled 3 times. So plus 3 into, what is z inverse of az by z minus a whole square? According to this formula, it is a power n into n. What is a value? 2. So 2 power n into n. In this way, we can complete the problem. So if you have any doubts regarding solutions of these problems, please feel free to chat with me along my WhatsApp number, and my WhatsApp number is already you know it, 9912-891-591. Okay. So one more important model is there to evaluate inverse Z transforms, which is called convolution theorem. Already I completed the problems on convolution theorem in earlier videos. If you have any doubts regarding in that model also, feel free to contact me through my WhatsApp number. Thank you very much.